Alright, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the door reversal on one of our 14 cubic foot Frigidaire top mount refrigerators. The first thing you have to find out before you do a door reversal on one of these units is if it has a bag of screws, 3 torx screws hiding inside of the pocket handle right here. If it has the 3 screws, then we need to use those for the door reversal process. If it does not have the 3 screws in there, then you have a more current version of this model, and those 3 screws are no longer needed. They're already installed on the unit. Alright, so we're going to get started by pulling off our hinge cover off of our top hinge. This is a 5/16, 8mm, or looks like you could also use a Phillips head. Now that we got the 3 screws off, I can go ahead and remove my hinge. Set it off to the side. We're going to take our Frigidaire, open it, and lift it up off of the pin that's on the hinge. Alright, now we take our pin, our center hinge pin, out using a 5/16 nut driver, and that's going to release our refrigerator door so we can take it off. So now that we got the pin out, we can take the refrigerator door off. Just open it slightly. We're going to tilt out to get it out from under our center hinge, and then we're going to lift up and take it off. Alright, so we're going to use a T25 Torx to pull out this screw on the cam that's down here on our lower hinge, and the 5/16 to pull our pin out to swap over to the other side so we can actually do our reversals. So we're going to take the hinge cover off and move it over to the opposite side. Alright, so we're going to put our pin and the hole to the outside, tighten it up, snug it up with our 5/16 driver. We're going to take our cam that was at the bottom of the door. We're going to flip it, drop it right down on our pin, and put our Torx screw back in to secure it. Now make certain you get this screw as snug as you can. I have found that if you do not get these things good and tight, it can slip and create popping noises in the future. Alright, so these are our 3 T20 Torx screws. On our unit, we have the 3 additional screws that came in the pocket handle, so these 3 screws are going to be in the garbage whenever we're done. Now if your unit didn't come with the screws on the pocket handle, then you're going to use these screws and you're going to reverse this center hinge using those. We're going to take the 3 plugs out, move them over here. This hinge is going over there. So this is probably the most tedious part of this process, is pulling these little plugs out. I have had them break off on me and I've had to reorder them. So just be careful, don't force them. So using a flat blade, we're going to gently pry these out. Just be careful we don't scar it or anything, and they just move over to the other side and they plug in back in. They reinsert where you pulled your 3 screws out, so we can install our 3 screws for our center hinge. Alright, so we're going to install our center hinge now. Ensure that you put the spacer back behind your hinge. It actually was behind it on whenever we had the right hand swing. Now we're moving to a left hand swing, so we got to ensure it's still behind our hinge whenever we put it in place. So now we're going to start doing the reversal section on our door. We're going to remove our plugs, swap them with our bushings on the opposite side, as well as our door tensioner on the bottom. We're going to reverse that to the opposite side. Alright, so we're going to slide our flat blade in and pry downwards. That's going to lift our bushing up and out. And then our plug, or our cap, whatever you want to call it, same thing. Pry down and lift out. And since we've already got our bushing out, we can place our bushing back in, make certain the flat side goes to the outside so it goes down all the way. And then we're going to press our cap, or our plug, back in on the opposite side. So whenever you're going to the bottom of the door, we're going to flip this door over. Keep in mind that these drawers, if they've been in use or the tape's been removed, you're going to want to take the drawers off the door, or the bins off the door. I don't have to worry about it because my unit's brand new, still has the tape in place, and my drawers should stay in place. Alright, so we're going to take out our door tensioner. This is the clip that actually makes contact with our cam at the bottom of the door to create that self-closing feature once you get it so far closed. Okay. So we're going to slide our flat blade in. Pry downwards, should lift our bushing up, take it out, take it over here and drop it in. Alright, so now we're going to reverse the entire door back over, flip our door back over. We're going to actually mount our refrigerator door by setting it on the pin and closing our door. Alright, so we're going to drop in our center hinge pin. We're going to take our 5/16 driver and we're going to tighten our center hinge pin back down, secure. Make sure it's snug. So now we're going to do the reversal process on our freezer door. Starting at the top of the door, we're going to pry our hinge bushing out. Pull our little plug, or our cap, out. We're going to put our plug in on the opposite side. Put our bushing back in. And we're going to flip the entire door over and do the bottom. Got our bushing. Tension clip. Tension clips held in with a Phillips head screw. Whenever you flip the tension clips, because they do have to flip, they have little grooves, little cutouts that they fit in. You should be able to just pop it back into the new cutout, put your screw back in. So I'm going to flip this door back over and we're going to install it back on our refrigerator. Alright, and the last thing we're doing is we're putting our hinge back on, 5/16 nut driver, screw our 3 bolts back in. Before I tighten up these, snug these up all the way, I lift up on the door. You want to make certain that your your distance between the two doors looks even, then you're going to tighten these bolts all the way down and put your cover on.